Can I do a shameless plug?
Oh yeah,
Is that
of course.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Anytime.
I take pictures of all my food.
Yeah.
I have a page on Instagram where I post all my complete dishes. They'll be from exams, just random days in class or anything.
Hey guys, this is Elijah Vargas from the Goal of Soul podcast. Can you introduce yourself?
My name is Dominic, and if you've ever watched this podcast, I was on the first episode of the Goal of Soul podcast. It's been 2 years,
Dude,
since I was on this podcast.
It's so wild. Like, I love it, bro.
It's been 2 years since I've been on this podcast, and I've been doing a lot of things. So I decided I'd come back and share my story. You know,
Yeah. I'm happy to talk about it, man. Like, I'm so happy to have you back. Like, you're the one that started everything. I think you were like the perfect first episode. Cause like I'd ask you a question and you wouldn't just sit there and be like, yes, like,
dude. Cause
you know what I mean?
all I do is talk.
Yeah.
Like it's part of my job. Is just every day I'm just talking. So
Yeah.
I can go on and on. We can make a 3-hour episode out of this.
Man, dude,
But-
that'd be awesome.
I don't know who would listen to that, but like I can do it. Is all I'm saying. Yeah.
I know some people that would, honestly.
That's fucking crazy,
Dude. So okay, I got a few like small talk questions if you want to go through that.
Yeah, sure.
So
Let's go.
how's your winter break been going so far?
Winter break is all right. I got out on I think like December 9th. I got out pretty early. I go back to school next week. I just started a new job, so I'm picking up hours there, just trying to make money because I'm in college and I'm broke, just like everyone else. But it's been all right so far. Christmas was okay. I don't know. I guess as you just get older, Christmas just never really hits the same. It's less of what am I gonna get for Christmas and what am I gonna get everybody else for Christmas.
Exactly.
And then you spend all your money, and now I just have to keep saving up for the next 3 months. It's like, and they're not even gonna get me anything back, but that's all right.
Yeah, I swear that happens to me a lot. I don't mind. I mean, I just want to show love to everybody else, you know.
It's the season of giving, so
Yeah.
I mean, it's also a mental thing as you get older. It's less about what am I gonna get, and it's just a whole growth thing. I like giving back to everyone that gives things to me all throughout the year. It's the least I can do as a person, honestly.
Yeah, and it's like I want to show them like how much they mean to me, you know, and like their friendship, the value that they provide to me. So I'll just get them something really nice, and like. Honestly, if they're like a good friend, I'll spend like way over just $20.
Oh.
Like a lot of people cap it at like 20 or 30. I'm like, yo, I'm getting you something that's like 50, 70. Like I definitely shouldn't be doing that because my bank account takes a massive hit every Christmas, but I'm like, yo, like y'all mean so much to me. Like y'all making my life way better.
My my one friend for Christmas, I gave him a loan. Because we're going to a Post Malone concert in May.
Oh, yeah.
And the tickets are so expensive. And, we're in college and we're broke. So I've given him a loan for like $280 concert ticket. And I said, Merry Christmas. Pay me back in May.
That's hilarious. A loan for Post Malone. Dude, I was supposed to be going to like... They had several good concerts in Omaha that we just never went to. And, like, every single time we're like, oh, we gotta go. But, like,
I saw Post Malone in 2020 before the world shut down.
Really?
He's a fantastic performer.
Yeah.
Fantastic. But I'm into country music, and now he started the whole country music thing.
Oh, yeah.
And that album is sick. So when...
I gotta check that out.
So when we heard he was going on tour, I was like, oh, I gotta go. I have to go. And my mom wanted to go, too. And this was right around Thanksgiving where she wanted to purchase the tickets. And then she was like, yeah, there's going to be like 13 of us. And I'm like, so you're going to buy all the tickets at once?
That's insane.
Exactly. So,
oh my gosh.
So then I'm having like a Friendsgiving with my friends and stuff. And then she's like, we're going to buy the tickets right now. And I'm like, I don't have money. Like,
that's
like,
a
you've
lot
been in college.
of
I don't have any money. And she's like, we'll put it on your credit card and then you can just pay it off later. And I was like, I don't really want to do that. It's $800.
Oh my!
Because I had to pay for 3 of the tickets. But so now I'm just that's just kind of sitting in my credit card waiting to get paid off.
I'm heading back to school on Sunday, and I paid for the train ticket for me and my 2 friends, and one of them it was $300, And I was like,
To Omaha?
yeah, I know.
Well,
right?
I guess you're taking a train. It's not like you're.
It's like
taking a plane.
104 each. And like the first day I checked, it was like 80 something, and then like I waited until the next day, and it was like 104. I'm like, okay, I gotta buy it now, because otherwise it's gonna be like 150 or something. It's gonna be impossible.
Do you go out of Union Station for that?
Yeah, so we
Okay.
take Union Station, we go to like Omaha Station, and I don't know, I'm gonna have to find somebody to pick me up.
That's crazy.
From there.
I never thought about really taking the train. The furthest I've taken the train is from here to Union Station.
Yeah,
So
same. Yeah.
I never really think about. I mean, back in like what 18, like
Yeah.
slavery. Like that's what they used
when
for
they were
trains.
using the train.
That's all they used the trains for. So
Yeah,
like, I don't know. I
mean,
never really used the train, but it's smart. I did go through what is that called? The like Chicago public transport. I did that
Yeah.
for the first time. I was downtown for the tree lighting, and
Oh yeah.
I went with my girlfriend, and she didn't tell me that we were taking public transport. I've never done it before,
Yeah.
and she had me go on the red line on Friday at like 8 p.m. and I sat at the front of the train. I just put my head down. I was just like,
There must have been so many people in there.
"Don't look at anyone. Don't look at anyone. Don't look at anyone."
Yeah.
I
I would be tweaking.
I was tweaking. I was like,
Yeah.
I looked at her. I'm like, "You didn't tell me we were doing this." She's like,
Yeah.
"Well, we're doing it." I'm like, "I hate you."
I feel like as I've gotten older, I've become like more and more paranoid about like large groups of people.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just start freaking out.
It's just because the way the world is going. I mean, it's just I don't know. I have this conversation with my parents all the time. They always tell me this world's a scary place. This world's crazy. You know, everyone's out for blood. It almost seems with all the shootings, stabbings, robbings. But it's like there's a point where you have to realize that this is the world, and I can't let that fear hold me back from seeing things. That's why
Exactly.
I went downtown and I wanted to see that because
Yeah.
I don't go downtown. I stay local. I mean, I go to school at Elgin, so I stay home local, and I had the opportunity to go downtown, and I was like, you know what, let's just do it. And nothing really happened. I mean, it was at like right next to Millennium Park with the Bean, and then we walked downtown by the Macy's, by the Daily Center. And that was really cool. It was the first time I shouldn't say it was the first time, but it was the first time I was ever in the heart of downtown, pretty much, on my own, just kind of picking my own path.
I don't think my parents would ever.
And it's and just learning as I get older, like seeing things without your family, seeing these things on your own with people that are close to you that aren't family. It's just, it's such an eye opener. And, and you also learn you learn more about yourself in those kind of instances, like how you
handle yourself,
how you plan, and just sort of and some stuff similar to that. So I don't know. I would love to travel, but travel is money, and I'm in college, and that means no money. So that's where we're at right now.
I like Omaha because it's like small enough that I mean, some people would disagree, but I think it's way safer than like a lot of other cities. So me and my friends will plan stuff, and we'll legit walk from school to like deep into the city, and it's like no problems whatsoever. We can do basically whatever we want. Like I'll get on a bike on like one of those city bikes, and I'll bike through the city at like 11 p.m.
I've always wanted to do that.
And it's so much fun.
I've always wanted to do that. The closest thing I've ever done to that was I rode through St. Louis on a Lime scooter. Yeah. Which is like the same kind of public bike, but a scooter. That was cool. But it's like every time I go downtown, it's like, hey, let's get on the bike. No, it's too dangerous. You guys are no fun, man. Come on.
No, I love it, man. Because like, they light up the city at night. Mm-hmm. And I mean, like they have this huge pedestrian bridge that like people could just walk back and forth on, and it like the bridge goes to Iowa. So like in the middle, there's like a line that's one side says Nebraska and one side says Iowa. So I'll legit just like bike over it, and I'm like, yo, this is so like everything's so beautiful. Like you get to the Iowa side and you could see like the Omaha skyline. And it's like, yo, this is out of a movie, and I'll do all this shit alone. I'm like, yo, like, damn, I wish one of my homies was here.
So truth be told, up until this year, I'd never been on a college campus before. Well, except my own, but it's a community college. It's like a glorified Bartlett high school. So this year was the first year I went to an actual college campus. The first one was Marquette for the Luke Combs concert, because I just love music, so concerts are a big thing when I have money. Back to the money thing. Not just kidding. But I went there and I went on Marquette campus, and I'm just like, so I can just walk around, like I don't have to be a student.
Yeah.
You just sit on these benches and do. It was all foreign to me.
Yeah.
And then in September, I went to Champaign for the first time. That place is wild. So this is while Barstool was doing their top party school in the U.S.
Yeah.
And they were in the quarterfinals with I think Iowa, Tennessee, and I think Kentucky was the fourth school. So they had Barstool people there. And they were passing around this giant trophy. Everyone was taking pictures with it. We were in one of the bars down there. That place, the place was absolutely running, like jammed. And I'm sitting there and I'm just like, what is going on? Like I've never done anything like that before. So that's one thing I always go back to is my friends are just like, I miss high school. Like I miss having that daily interaction with all these people.
Yeah.
And I miss all the people from high school because I can just talk to them so easily. And I'm like, I get that, but the freedoms I'm getting as I'm getting older and the things that I get to do are priceless. High school, you're still limited. You still have to follow guidelines. You still have the teens following you. You still have your teachers, watching what you do. And when I'm an adult, I can do pretty much, whatever I want, obviously.
Yeah, I can make plans to do whatever. It doesn't matter.
I'm obviously not breaking the law, but it's just the beauty of getting older. I feel like people take that for granted because there's all the stress of I have to pay my rent, I have to pay my car insurance, I have to pay my car payment. But you take a step back and realize that you're doing this all on your own, pretty much. Like I feel like a lot of people take that for granted.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely agree. Like I've been on we're like in the process of like switching insurance right now. So I haven't like been able to drive at all this entire break, and I'm like, last winter break I was able to do whatever I wanted, and now it's like I'm starting to feel that like I feel trapped, and like you're talking about freedom, I'm like like I definitely had freedom and I took it for granted. Now I'm here and I'm like, oh shit, like I can't drive nowhere, and I wanted to train MMA over break, and I'm like I can't do that because I can't drive there. I'm also broke, like I can't afford it. And it's like all my friends are doing stuff, but you know how it is, like
just you're stuck inside. I'm at that point right now. I gotta pipe down on what I'm spending and just kind of spend my money on what's readily available towards me. It doesn't really help that my hobby is golf. It's like the most expensive sport to play, and now it's just like I can't do that. So now I just kind of have to hold myself back from like going to practice and stuff like that. I mean, there's only one place in the area where it's like indoor because it's snow outside and everything. But
there's indoor golf.
Yeah, it's in Addison. It's in Addison off Lake Street. It's a giant dome, but it's for half an hour. It's $22. So if you want to stay there for like an hour and a half, you're gonna run it like $65. It's crazy. So I go. I mean, if I'll go with a group of people, so it's less expensive. But it's just I have to learn how to not spend my money as much because I was at a point where my income was pretty solid for my age. It was like somewhere in the realm of like $4,000 a month over the summer. I was working 2 jobs, like 65 hours a week. So it's like I don't have a problem sharing that information because I'm working my ass off. So it doesn't really. So I feel like I can talk about it like that. Yeah. But and then towards the end of July, I was spending a good bit because I was making a good bit and I wasn't really thinking about having to put anything in my savings. And then I got laid off on my full-time job because they couldn't afford to pay me anymore. Yeah. They weren't making enough money, which is crazy because you were already paying me to work 40 hours a week. Yeah. They had cut my hours and gave me a day off during the week, and then the next week they were just like, we have to let you go. That sucks, man. They gave me a reason that was trying to seem like I did something wrong, but I knew I didn't because it really wasn't that big of a deal. So what had happened, what the boss said was it was something about chicken noodle soup. He was like, do you see the soup today? And I'm like, yeah, I made it. And he's like, well, what do you think? Did you see how it's like all noodles and no soup? And I'm like, yeah, I saw this. So why wouldn't you take initiative to fix that? And I'm like, well, because every time there's a problem, I call you about it, and you tell me to leave it as it is. So that's on you. And the week prior, he was trying to get me to serve burgers that were like a day out of date.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, these.
So that's more of a management.
So
thing.
I'm like, these don't smell right. And he's like, I'm telling you, they're fine. And I'm like, I just don't know if I feel comfortable serving that. And then he's like, well, if you're not comfortable serving them, then put them away and go get burgers from the freezer then. And I'm just like, I don't want to serve freezer burgers. Like, we're supposed to be running a serious operation here. I'm not serving that shit. This isn't Wendy's.
Yeah, don't say what the business that is. I don't want to cause any heat.
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah.
No. I ain't gotta tell you where that is. It's fine.
Yeah. So you said that you got a new job.
Yeah, I got a new job like at the beginning of December.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of a new job, not really.
So what is it?
So I'm just working at a new place. I don't know. You don't want me to name drop, so I'm just gonna leave that anonymous.
Well, it depends. Are you gonna say something positive?
No. It's very positive. I'm working at Medina Country Club. It's recognized as one of the top 10 country clubs in the world, and it's like 20 minutes away from here. I've worked there twice as like busting tables, clearing tables, kind of helping the servers out and stuff. Now I'm there as a cook. Right now I'm just doing like a lot of prep for their events. They have parties like all throughout the week, any time of the year. So there's a lot of stuff that goes around for that. But then I'm also eventually gonna move in. They have two different. They technically have like 3 or 4 different restaurants, but in the main clubhouse there's 2 restaurants. Yeah. And I'm gonna move to one of those. Just kind of have my own space, and just learn a more fast-paced operation. Just kind of. I don't see it as a job, especially since I'm taking a pay cut to work there. I'm just seeing it as more of an opportunity to grow. I never, if I'm interviewing for a job or if I'm looking for a job, I never look at, obviously I'm going to look at the pay because I need money. Yeah. But I'm never going to make that my top priority. It's where is the room to grow and where is the opportunity at? Because I'm still young. I'm 19, almost 20 years old, so it's not like I'm fighting for a higher position. I'm looking for, is there enough opportunity for me to learn something new? And is there enough opportunity for me to show what I already know for internal promotion? So I feel like people are looking at like, oh, this place isn't giving me enough money. This place isn't going to give me enough money. I don't think you should be worrying about the money when you have literally the rest of your life to make as much money as you want. I think a lot of people take money as like the sole purpose of everything they do, which in all fairness, it's fair. Money is really important. It pays for everything. But if you work enough, then you'll still make enough money to survive. I don't know about in this economy, but in a economy.
Yeah. Dude, I gotta say, you move like hella smart. That's like really smart. I think a lot of people don't do that. Like they'll take a job just for the pay, but like you're kind of moving like you wanna hone in on your skills, like get better at those skills, and then like at the end of the day you're gonna get paid more because it's a more like specialized thing that you're doing. They don't
in some cases yes, but people don't pay experience. Like they don't pay experience. Sometimes they pay skill. Yeah. So it's more so even if let's say in so many years down the line I have experience managing a kitchen or being right under and I'm going for an executive position, they're gonna start me lower and I have to prove myself almost. A lot of places that will hire you for those higher up places if you have a degree, which is why I'm in school. I don't need a degree for my field, but I'm choosing to get one because that's gonna help me obviously get a better job down the line. But it all comes down to how you work in different environments. So I never look for what's going to pay me better, what's going to give me a higher role right off the line. Start me at the bottom, that's fine. I can work and show you that I'm worth a higher position. That's how I prefer internal promotion than just getting something higher level.
Yeah. So I kind of want to get into like your cooking, like chef kind of background.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
What kind of classes, like you said you're taking you want to get a degree, so yeah. Number 1, like what's that degree, and number 2, like what kind of classes do you have to take for that?
For sure. Okay, so I'm over at Elgin Community College, which is you think of community college and it's just like it's just the cheap way out, but in all reality, I guess most culinary programs come out of community colleges. Those big culinary schools, those are cool, but they're hundreds and thousands of dollars. And big universities actually don't offer culinary programs. Like I'm sure they don't offer it where you go.
They don't.
There's
I don't think they do.
No university, pretty much no universities like in the state, except there's a couple of downtown. So a lot of people go to community colleges, especially in this area. Joliet Junior College has a fantastic program. CODI has another fantastic program. So we're still a pretty good program, but I mean, it's obviously not like it's tops. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I enjoy my time there, but my degree is an associate's in applied science of culinary arts. So there's not as many lectures as you think. I don't have to take barely any gen eds. I have to take a nutrition class for contemporary society and business communications, which are still things I have to know, but a lot of my classes are labs.
Yeah,
So
makes sense.
So last semester I had 2 labs, Mondays and Wednesdays. So Monday I'd get in at about 9 a.m. and I'd leave at about 9 p.m. So my first class will run from like I want to say 9:30 to 2. That's meats and seafood principles. So I learned a lot more just about different cuts, how they're prepared, even though it got a little repetitive towards the end because it was just like I was just taking a different piece of meat and I was just preparing it the same 2 ways, but I was just it was just different. But it got a little repetitive, but I ended up learning a lot more about pricing, and food costs and stuff like that. And then I took it's called a garde manger, which is basically just a term for cold kitchen. So I learned more. So you would think like it's just salads and sandwiches and stuff, but it's a lot about, we did a lot of sausage making and a lot of, I guess they call it force meats, which is basically the, like progressively grinding meat with a certain amount of fat to make a sort of sausage thing, but also things like terrines, which is like a clay pottery mold that you can like line it with like deli meat or vegetables, and then put the force meat as they call it, which could also be like a seafood mousseline, which is like seafood that's like basically blended with heavy cream and stuff, and that makes it kind of like a sausage consistency, but it's seafood. And then you bake that in what's called a bain marie, which is just basically just a water bath, and then you eat it cold. It sounds really weird, but these are really traditional things that I'm learning.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
Yeah, and then the other classes were I took a business communications, my second course, which is just about, composing emails, writing messages, stuff like that. And then I took a class about bulk food purchasing. So I learned a lot about design. I basically designed a menu, converted I went on Google and I took 3 recipes. And I made them into restaurant standardized recipes. So instead of 1 tablespoon, 1 cup, I converted everything to ounces and grams so that you can use like a scale to weigh everything out. Because it's just a way to keep. Basically, what we learned about is if you do that, it basically in restaurants keeps it condensed, keeps it easy to read, and produces a more consistent product. If you're using the same amount every single time, it can be multiplied really easily. So we learned,
so like if you're making several meals, you could just like take from this and this will do
they're all gonna end up the same. Like nothing is seasoned to taste. Everything has a set amount. So everything has a consistent flavor. So you don't get people that are saying this is too salty. This doesn't have enough salt. This is spicy. It's all gonna be the same. I mean, obviously you're still gonna have people that are gonna say that because everyone tastes differently. And some people just suck. But and then we learned a lot more about buying the food and how you would charge that on the menu. So most restaurants will target about a 33% food cost. So basically, let's say I'm making a dish with salmon, and that salmon is roughly priced at about like $5.49 a pound, and I'm selling an 8-ounce portion. So now we're looking at about $2.75 for just the piece of fish. And then like vegetables I'm serving with that. Like let's say I'm serving it with like for example, one of my exam dishes was I did a salmon with a guajillo chili and honey glaze. And then so that's just honey and spices. That's not that expensive. And then I did a sweet potato puree, which I used like 1 sweet potato. So that's like another 40 cents maybe. They're not expensive. Whipped with goat cheese. Goat cheese is a little bit pricier, so maybe I only use a little bit, so maybe add about another $2 to that. So now we're up to like maybe $5.50 for the whole dish, and then I served it with broccolini, which is also super cheap. It's like another 60 cents a portion, and then served it with a beurre blanc, which is like a white wine butter sauce. That is a little pricier, so maybe that whole portion that I did there, you make a lot, but you serve a little bit on the plate, so maybe another I would say maybe 50 cents.
You said that was an exam?
Oh yeah, this was my.
Dude, that's so
This
cool.
was an
like,
exam, so I'll get into that in a second. But basically, that whole plate there is gonna be about $7 to make.
Yeah.
But I want to charge that at a 33% food cost. So I'm going to multiply that by 3, and it's going to give me about $21, $22. That's how much you want to price it on a menu so you can make revenue. And also, you can even charge more depending on how much labor goes into it. Labor cost is a big thing that we learned about.
100%.
So we learned about like how to price those kind of things. And then our final project was basically taking all three dishes on your menu and creating one purchase order. So with the big purveyors in food, and basically just go on their website, figure out how much you need and what quantities they sell it in, and make a full purchase order and map it out from there. So that was my final project.
That's sick, bro. I like how like you take into account like the cost and all of this, and like you're looking at like price per pound or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, like I could never imagine being tested on like preparing a meal that like it sounded good, like that sounded really good, and and then also looking at the price of all of it. Like, that's crazy.
So I actually can I do a shameless plug? Is that okay?
What's that?
Can I do a shameless plug?
Oh,
is that
of
all right?
course.
So
yeah. Anytime. Bro.
I take pictures of all my food, and I have a page on Instagram where I post all my complete dishes. They'll be from exams or just random days in class, anything. If you wanted to throw a link somewhere. I kind of appreciate that. It's not like I'm trying to. Yeah. That's kind of not like I'm trying to gain traction from it. I just I like making food, and I like people that look at it. It's a good way to network. Yeah. But I'm not trying to like make any money from it. It's just people are always curious about. So what do you make? Like if you really want to know, then just go check it out. I basically post everything. Yeah. But you were saying you couldn't think about like being tested on that sort of thing.
Yeah, like that's such a like cool concept.
Yeah,
I guess.
It's almost like an episode of Chopped or
like
that's Master Chef or something. So let me give you a rundown. This was my last exam, and basically he went in and was our kind of everything that we learned. So we had to prepare 2 proteins. We had to prepare a short rib dish and a salmon dish. So I already explained to you that kind of salmon dish. And then the short rib dish, I basically just I braised it in like beef stock and red wine and kind of served it with the juice. I braised it and made it into like a sauce with some of the vegetables I put in there. And then that was a plate I sent up. But basically it's like he gives us a rundown of what needs to be produced, or chef does, I should say. And then I basically just go out into our prep area and I'll pick out what I need. So the short rib recipe is a little more like basic, but the salmon recipe, I'll actually sit at my station for a solid 10 minutes and like make a concept dish on the back of a recipe or something. So I'm thinking salmon. So something I learned is like if you put sugar on a piece of fish or mainly fish, because meat, you have to brown a little longer, but if you put sugar on it, it browns it faster, so it looks nicer. So I wanted to do something similar to that, but I know salmon's already a fattier fish, so now I want to add a heat element. So I added a chili into my honey, and I just put a little bit of that on there and then seasoned it. So I knew I wanted to do that. We had a lot of sweet potatoes left over, so I decided I wanted to work with those. But sweet potatoes obviously are sweet, they're in the name. So I wanted to balance out a little bit of that sweetness I wanted to originally do a little bit of spice, but then I wanted to make them lighter. So I found goat cheese, which has a mild tang to it, so that kind of balances up the sweetness of the potato. And then I boiled it in some milk and some brown stock, because if you just boil it in water, I mean, it works, but if you boil it in milk, it'll make your it was a puree, so I put it in the blender. It sounds weird. It's like baby food, but like really good baby food. It's interesting, but a lot of high-end restaurants, like Michelin restaurants, like they'll serve that anywhere. So sweet potatoes in a blender, the milk will give it milk when you blend it kind of just gets aerated. Like that's kind of where like whipped cream comes from. So that gives it more volume. And then the stock gives it a base, like a heavier base. So it's not just like straight potato, but there's a little bit of flavor and a little bit of like almost a beefier base to it. And then broccolini we've been working with all semester. it was so tiring. So it was like my chef was just like, gotta put broccolini and carrot on your plate. Broccolini and carrots. And I'm like, okay, you want broccolini? I'm gonna make you some damn broccolini, okay? So I just did that super simple. And then I made a sauce with butter and white wine, and then to give it, you can kind of flavor however you want with like a little bit of acid or a spice or anything. So I used oranges. So I basically the peel of the orange, I shaved that into there, so it's orange zest, and then basil leaves. I basically chopped really fine because orange and basil is a really good combination. So the basil really small, and the orange juice and the zest in the sauce, and that gives it like a real like another depth of flavor on top of the butter and the wine.
Good.
So I'll do that, and that'll take me probably maybe 3 hours to
Just to prepare.
To prepare not that long, but to cook the short ribs take about. You're supposed to cook them until tender, so they can go anywhere between 2 and 3.5 hours.
Yeah, I bet.
So mine took 3 hours, and then as soon as I put the short rib in the oven, I started on that salmon dish, which maybe took me 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
Then I just waited for the short ribs; those were done. I think I scored like 198 out of 200. So I ended up pretty good on that. And then basically when I'm done with that, I just put all my dishes in the sink. I get them all washed up. I clean down my station, and then I left. And then I had I had another exam literally right after that.
Yeah.
So this one was way harder. It's gonna sound easy, but trust me, it's not. So basically, I had to bring like tablecloths and table decorations, and it's a charcuterie board. It's a giant charcuterie board of everything I've been making all semester. So it has 14 items.
Damn.
And there's a few that I had to make. So most of my product I had basically been freezing since the start of the semester.
So wait, sorry to interrupt.
Oh no, you're fine.
Is this that class that you said was like cold stuff?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I wanted.
Oh no, you're fine. So I had to make a charcuterie board. Some of the stuff is fresh from the day. Some of the stuff I've been freezing since like October, which it doesn't really go bad. So the problem was I had spent the first like it's a 6-hour class.
Yeah.
3 to 9 p.m. So yeah, no, it's crazy. So I spent like the first maybe 3 hours on like 4 things thinking about. Like I had a cured salmon that I did, but it was like I can't just serve the salmon. How do I want to pair this? So, again, I'm sitting at my station trying to make a conceptualize a dish. So I did like a cream cheese spread with like dill and shallots and some other stuff. I'm basically like thin sliced bread, thin garlic bread. I served that on top of that with the cream cheese. So, and then I did that for like a few other things. And then it's like 7 o'clock, and the chef goes, I need it to be set at 8 o'clock. And then we're going to have other classes come in and try your dishes, and I'm going to grade them. I still had 9 things to get on my table in an hour. So I had to I made like a beef carpaccio, which is basically like beef that you sear on the outside, but it's completely raw in the middle.
Yeah.
I still had to slice that. I still had to make a plate of deviled eggs. I made homemade sausages that I still had to get hot and wrap them in some like pastry, like pigs in a blanket almost. I still had all these things to do, and on top of that, I had to like use these boards to make it look fancy, and all this other stuff. We were at 20 minutes left, and everyone's done, and I am sprinting in the kitchen trying to get it done.
My
and
gosh.
that one unfortunately I only got like an 82 on. That one was a little tough, but I'm learning how to think on my feet because I took too long thinking about it in the first stages. Now I've learned that I have to think faster on my feet. So yeah,
that's crazy.
There's a lot that goes into it. I can talk about this for hours.
Yeah, no, like that's so interesting though. Like I don't think I've ever. You're probably my only friend that's like pursuing this, and that's a whole different world. Like what you're studying and what you guys have to do for your classes is like. You guys are actually going to be hella prepared. And it sounds like you guys are, like, prepared to go on, like, those cooking shows.
Yeah. So there's actually a guy from Elgin that he went to Elgin. He was actually a finalist on Next Level Chef, the past season of it. His name is Zach Laidlaw. He's based in Hawaii, and he does, like, a farming thing out there. But
Really?
He went through the program and got recruited by the team to be on the show. So he got trained under Gordon Ramsay, and oh my God, the other guy's name. He's a very good chef. I forgot his name. I'm sorry. But he trained under them under that show, and he got, I think, 3rd place. And then I'm sitting in class one day watching my chef do a demo, and I look to my right, and the guy just walks in. And I'm like, I look at him, and I'm like, what are you doing here? Right? So it was funny that you said you were prepared to go on those cooking shows because we've had I had a person from our school actually go on one of them.
That's awesome.
If I could ever go on Hell's Kitchen one day, I would do it.
Do they still shoot?
They still shoot. Actually, They're in their 23rd. I've watched every season.
Damn.
They're in their 23rd season, which is a lot, but I actually can't get casted till the 21. But I would do it in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah.
I would do it in a heartbeat. So, I don't know, yeah.
What would you say is like your favorite cooking show?
Favorite? Oh, yeah. Hell's Kitchen. I've watched every season. So, I've actually rewatched a lot of the seasons because everyone thinks he's like, you fucking donkey.
Yeah, it's funny. You got
so
like those
it's
clips.
funny, but I go back and I watch the challenges that they do.
Yeah.
And I watch how they're thinking on their feet, conceptualize a plate, and all these other things, and I'm trying to apply them into my daily life. So it's so that's the funny moments will come in the dinner service portion where they have to go through a full dinner service. Whoever performs the worst gets eliminated. I focus on the beginning of the episode, which is the challenge portion, where they win to go on a reward, and I pay attention to that part and what flavors they're mixing together, how they're working as a team to conceptualize a dish and what different cooking methods they're using, and I'm applying them to the real world.
Yeah, that's dope, dude. Have you ever seen them make a recipe? Have you ever tried one? Try to make what they make.
So not on Hell's Kitchen, but yes, on I've dabbled in a little bit of MasterChef. It's not professional because they're home cooks, but I still watch it. Actually, I watched the Canadian version. I don't know if that's weird.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
I've watched the Canadian version. I prefer it actually. There was an episode. So this was in 2020. Where it was COVID, and I was 15.
Yeah.
And there was an episode where they did a French omelet. So it's not a traditional omelet where you put whatever you want in there and fold it with cheese. So this is 4 eggs and basically a ton of butter. And they whip it, get a lot of air in it, and then you have to fold it into 4 folds and make it look like a perfect cylinder. No whites, no cracks in the actual egg. It's perfectly solid. Yeah. So I was like, I want to do that. I did it for 2 months. I couldn't get it. And then on that faithful 63rd day, I got it. And it was delicious. And I was like, this is so cool. So tying back into my first semester of school, we did eggs. And he taught us how to make a French omelet. And then he's like, okay, go practice. And I did it on my first try.
You nailed it.
I was like, I've done this so many times. I brought it up to him, and he goes, have you done this before? And I was like,
I would have been like, nah.
Once or twice. Once or twice.
Nah, I'm just talented,
I'm built different.
Yeah. I would have been like, no.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt in my first semester. There was a lot of people in that class that had never been in food service. Yeah. Or that were just there to learn how to cook. So I was constantly people were asking me questions about how to prepare stuff.
Yeah, I bet.
Now that I'm in my 4th semester, everyone around me is kind of at the same skill level, and I love picking people's brains about what they're doing. It's nice to have an environment where everyone it's really nice to have an environment where everyone has the same goal as me and everyone has the same ideas as me, and we and we exchange. It's super awesome.
Yeah, you're all just killers. You're all just know exactly what you got to do, and nobody's just it's a part-time job. It's all full-time,
pretty much. We're full-time students, so everyone's always there. So yeah, and then this coming semester, I know, and I got sidetracked, but the question was my classes. And then so this semester I'm taking my one lab, and it's a restaurant production. So basically we're Tuesdays and Thursdays we do a simulated lunch service. And basically, so we pick the menu. It's like we're working in a restaurant. It's actually, you can actually, people that go to college or any of the public can actually go eat there.
Really?
You just have to make a reservation. And we have service staff. That's also a class. I haven't taken it yet. But I'm going to be in the kitchen, and I'm going to be with a few other people, and I'm going to be assigned to make a dish. I'm going to be assigned on a station to prep it, and it's going to be the people are going to place their orders like a regular restaurant. Yeah. Orders are going to come in. Chef's going to yell at me, I need 2 salmon, I need 2 risotto, and I need it now. And I'm going to be, it's basically I'm going to be on an episode of Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
So that's actually really cool. And then I'm taking a class about menu design. So basically just kind of how to design a menu.
Yeah.
And how to price it. So I've already learned about that kind of stuff, but it's just another class. And then supervision class, basically just management and stuff.
That's cool.
I'm taking it easy this semester so that I can fit in work and crawl out of debt. That's the goal.
Yeah, that is so fair.
It needs to be a priority at some point.
So my last question, I kind of asked like, if you had seen something on the TV that like you wanted to try, is there any like recipes that you've seen online that you thought are like horrendous and you would just never try? It just looks disgusting.
Oh yeah. There's been plenty of those instances. I watch. There's this girl I watch on Instagram that reviews like bad food recipes, and there's those. They're so fun.
I know.
There's people.
Like, why do people do that?
I hate. Terrible. So the worst I had ever seen was, she puts a block of cream cheese in the pan, right, and then just adds seasoning on top of the cream cheese. Puts water at the bottom and then just sticks a pound of raw spaghetti right on top and sticks it in the oven, and I'm like, what are you doing? And it makes me cringe, but I just love watching people react to those videos.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I make a couple of weird recipes myself, but it's like now you're just doing things that are stupid.
Yeah, like I like those ones that like they'll like fry a steak in like butter.
Oh,
and then like just do like some random like put mac and cheese on it or something.
Okay.
Like,
yeah. So doing the steak and butter thing is actually, it's a pretty common trend. It's not the craziest thing I've seen, but the problem with butter is it burns really easily and steak takes a while to cook. So it's just not the smartest thing to do. I've seen people make steaks in toasters.
Yeah. So like it's undercooked usually, right?
I don't
because
know.
It burns quickly.
There's been some like toaster steaks that I've seen come out perfect, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? But that looks good. Yeah, no, people are crazy.
Yeah,
people are crazy with food. So, and that is one thing I not that I dislike, but there's something I look at, and it's like people that are just making food at home for themselves, and people that just like casually cook, and then there's just me that is like every time I see it, I like cringe because it's like, oh, that's not how I do that. Oh, that's not how restaurants do that, and it's like I can't just let people be. I just micromanage everything.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that. Like coming from like a fighter's perspective, that's literally how it always is. Like you'll see a video of somebody hitting the bag, and you'll see like hundreds of comments just picking apart his form and being like, oh, this guy's not a pro boxer. This guy's not. And it could literally be a pro boxer, and he doesn't have his hands up for 1 second, and everybody's like, oh, this guy's totally going to lose. No wonder he lost against that guy. He's trash. He's got to keep his hands up. Like, that's exactly the same thing, because like when you're in it, like you'll pick it apart no matter what. When you understand it to that level,
it's things that when you understand it, you start to notice everything. An example of it, it's like not the exact example, but the show The Bear. I'm guessing you've heard of it.
Nah,
so
I don't know. Maybe
it's actually really popular. It's on Hulu. It's with Jeremy Allen White, who plays Lip in Shameless, and he basically the story is like his brother dies, and he ran like a beef restaurant in the middle of Chicago. Yeah. And so now he goes and runs it, but he's like this decorated chef, James Beard Award winner, which is kind of like the MVP of chefs, if you want to say. He wants to get he's worked in Michelin star restaurants. A Michelin star is something that's awarded to a restaurant. And there's like Michelin, it's Michelin the tire company. Like literally
for whatever reason.
It's literally Michelin the tire company. Yeah. And basically, they just grade restaurants, and if it's the perfect depiction of what they say they're serving, they'll get awarded a Michelin star. You'll see there's places that are just kind of like not even that expensive, not that fancy. They have Michelin stars, and there's obviously those high end places
they'll
where
have like several
10-course tasting, $1,000 a person. Those are multi Michelin starred restaurants. Yeah. But he basically just goes on a mission to turn that beef stand into a Michelin star restaurant. And it was the first show that I watched that I really sat back and it was like, I understand everything that's happening right now.
That's awesome.
And I just watched the whole show and I'm just like, oh, I saw that. Oh, I get that. Oh, I get that.
Yeah.
And it's like I can't even enjoy the show because I'm just trying to pick apart everything.
Yeah, that's an awesome feeling. Oh my gosh. is one of your goals to get like a Michelin star at some point in your life?
I mean, that would be cool. Sure. I mean, that's a goal, but I don't really know if it's very hard to attain.
Yeah.
I think I don't even know if I have a goal to open my own restaurant. You need investors for that. It's so much more money and time than you would ever imagine. I just think my overall goal is just to be the executive chef and run my own show.
Yeah.
Make it my menu.
So you want to be the one that's like you're talking about like your teachers, professors, your chef that's like yelling like, oh, I need this, and I need it on a plate now.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be
guys.
me at some point. But I want to change. Well, I'm not obviously not gonna help change the whole restaurant demographic because that'd be really hard to do as one person. But I would love to change the flow of restaurants. There's just so much history of kitchens. People are throwing shit everywhere. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know if I can swear on the show. I'm sorry.
I don't care.
Okay, cool. I'll try to hold back on it. But there's people that are throwing stuff at each other. There's a lot of drug abuse in kitchens, and I don't do nicotine or anything like that, and I don't do like hard drugs.
Yeah.
I don't really do anything. I just kind of stay focused, but I kind of just want to shift it to a clean environment where obviously I can be stern, be direct without the harassment.
Yeah, and like it sounds like very stressful, so like trying to dial that down, but like keep the.
So where I'm working at right now, they do a fantastic job of having that calm environment, that helping environment. They're willing to go that extra mile to help me understand the system because they see potential, and that's what I want to do to everyone that works under me. Yeah. While also being stern and direct to create a fantastic product would be the ultimate goal. That would be awesome. I mean, if I could own a restaurant, if I can win a James Beard Award or get a Michelin star, that'd be awesome. But that's extremely hard to attain. So I set my goals small, and then once I hit them, I just set new goals. So there's always something new to learn. That's just kind of that's just a life perspective thing for me, honestly.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Set my goals small, and once I hit those, I set a new goal. And then I set a new goal. And then I set a new goal. Yeah.
So moving away from food, like it's the new year. Do you have any goals for this year, just in general? I don't really believe in New Year's resolutions anymore. If I want to do, well, not because it's like I can't stick to them, but if I want to do something with my life, I should be able to make that change at any point. Yeah. And not start it on a new year. But I really just want to try and get away from distractions. So get away from drinking parties and get away from, going to smoke and like those big engagements where I'm just kind of distracted, eating whatever, eating like crap. I just kind of want to stay focused on what's at hand because there's so much for me to learn and there's so much growth. I really just kind of want to stay focused, which would kind of be my goal. I mean, obviously I have goals to try and be healthy. I'm trying to be in the gym 4 to 5 days a week, but I made that goal. Like that's not a New Year's resolution, but I would definitely say my New Year's resolution is just stay on my grind and stay focused on what's in front of me. Cause I have a problem where I just let a lot of things distract me because there's going to be times in my life where I just want to have fun. And I'm going to have those opportunities, but I'm in a moment in my life right now where I need to seize the opportunity I have in front of me and stay focused. It's literally the same here. Like I was talking to my mom about like stuff we want to do for the new year, and she said like something similar to you. Like she just wants to like get focused. She doesn't want to like get distractions, and she wants to just like kind of like lock in, Mm-hmm. And like literally the same here. I will spend like 3 hours just scrolling on my phone for no reason at all. And like video games had never been like a really big problem for me. Like it was when I was younger, and then once I got home from break, it's just been like I will play for like all night. Like there's like I used to be really good in high school. I used to be really good at just like just being like, oh, I have priorities. I won't even turn on the TV. Yeah. Like, but like once I got back from break, I'm like, yo, I just want to. This semester was so stressful.
College, like big university college and stuff like that is a completely different thing. Because you're working so hard, like 10 months out of the year, that you just kind of want, when you get home, you kind of want to relax. Yeah. That's understandable. I'm in a space where I'm still home, and I don't live on campus.
There's a lot of like self-motivation.
Yeah, so I'm basically just in a situation where I have the opportunity to kind of stay focused. So that's where I'm just trying to go with that. I mean, your point of view is definitely is definitely understandable. I mean, it's always better to stay focused. Like always, it's not always better, but it's always like a good thing to want to stay focused. But it's completely understandable on your end.
Yo, I gotta tell you, bro. This just like randomly. I just remembered this randomly, but last year.
Yeah.
Me and my boys, we went to this, what do you call it, like those places that they like only sell meat?
Like a butcher shop?
Yeah, like a butcher shop. So we went to like a butcher shop.
Was it like a restaurant or like?
Nah.
No, yeah, it's like a butcher shop.
So
yeah.
we all picked up some steaks. I got like a cowboy cut ribeye. I think
Yeah.
that's what it's called.
All right. Okay.
So big ass piece of steak, right?
Yeah.
And we all went to my friend's house. Like he lives in Omaha. So this was like over a weekend.
Okay.
And dude, we all cooked our shit. Dude, it was so
There you go.
good, bro.
There you
That was
go.
the best steak I've ever had in my life. Like,
There you go.
oh my gosh. Me and my friend. So what exactly happened? We both of us got the same cut, and like because we had such a big cut, it was like they had to do ours last, and like. Dude, like it was so good. It was so much meat. Like,
were you just doing them in your dorm room?
no, it was my friend lives in Omaha,
Mhm.
so we just went to his house, and his
Okay.
parents were like away for the weekend or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So we were just cooking steaks on this stove. Like,
There you go.
dude, it was so good.
I'm glad you get to do the thing where you make food for yourself, and it's just like it's so good. I don't get that.
Yeah.
I make food for myself, and then I sit down and I critique everything I could have done better. So yeah, I actually don't get any thrill from making food for myself.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, I do and I don't. I do to practice, but I don't really. All I do is critique when I eat. I really just get the thrill of making food for other people. That's
Yeah.
the ultimate goal, is just to make people happy.
That feels better.
To make people happy through food. So when I can make a dish for someone and they look at me and they go, "Wow, that's so good,"
Yeah.
that's my goal. So I like hearing people's stories where it's like, I made this and it was so good, and I'm like, I'm glad you get to have that experience, because
Dude, that's gotta. Damn.
yeah, no,
That's kind of sad.
that's kind of everyone that works in that industry.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I'll go back and I'll watch or I'll like see some of my episodes of the podcast, and it'll be like that. I'll be like, oh damn, like why did I say that?
Yeah.
Or I just hate the sound of my voice. And doing a podcast is like the worst thing.
it's so backwards. Like
yeah.
it's like oh yeah, basically this is what I want to do. I want to do this thing where it's just my voice, but I hate my voice. Oh,
Yeah.
that has to suck.
But I think like one of the things is like we gotta do things that we hate. You know what I mean? And it just makes us better. Like it builds your discipline. It makes you like stronger. Like a lot of people hate going to the gym, but that's like, you know, that's something you gotta do to get stronger, get more healthy, get in shape, you know. And even school, like people hate school. You gotta go to school, you gotta learn, you gotta get that education so you get a job, you know, and prepare yourself for your future. So sometimes you just gotta do things that you hate.
I like that perspective. I use that perspective a lot. Having to step outside of my comfort zone, doing things that I don't like, because that's the only way you're gonna grow. I like going back to where I'm at now was kind of I'm gonna make less money, but I'm gonna start at the bottom, but I see the opportunity, so I took a risk. And even with my last job, I was serving at a steakhouse in Lombard, and it was a far drive from where I was currently working. I was close-knit with all my coworkers, but it's like if I don't take that opportunity, take that extra drive, meet all these new people, learn a whole new program, if I don't take that opportunity, then I'm not gonna get better. Tying back to what I said earlier, everything I do is a chance to be better, an opportunity to be better. So if I don't hop on that opportunity, then I'm gonna miss out, and I'm really not gonna grow. So I like that mentality of having to do things you hate. You have to do them, and you're gonna appreciate them later in life for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like even in the future, you're gonna see the growth that you made, and be like, yeah, like it was worth it. It was worth it, you know. And you're gonna have like a harder mindset, like kind of like that David Goggins, you know, like you're gonna be like, yeah, I'm a hard man, like you cannot stop me, like no matter what you throw out, whatever is thrown at me, like it doesn't bother, like I'll take care of it, you know.
Yeah. No. Yeah, for sure. I love that mentality.
Yeah. So I mean, I kind of mentioned the gym.
Uh,
And I know you said like you're trying to go to the gym like 4 or 5 times a week, and
yeah.
you're like committed to it.
Mhm.
So what does your gym split look like?
Okay, so it's a little interesting. It's been hard for me uh, to be consistent because of school and because of my schedule. But I've
Yeah.
been a lot better recently, 4 days, 5 days a week. But ever since I started college, I've had two injuries. I don't know if it was a pinched nerve or something in the back of my neck, but
Oh.
I basically was like, I did it while I was doing squats, and it felt like
Yeah.
my brain was being tied in a knot. I thought I was gonna like pass out or something.
What the hell?
So then I took like 3 days off, and then on a Monday, I remember it. I went back and I started doing incline chest, and I put the barbell back down, and my head was just in a fist, and I was like, okay, I have to figure out what the hell is happening. So, went to my cousin's. He said it was like I guess it could have been like a pinched nerve or something. But I basically took a month off of the gym to kind of heal from that, and it was really hard for me to get back into a consistent schedule after that. And especially with working, I was working full time and I was at school full time, so it was kind of hard to fit it in. I started getting better, and then this past June I was swimming, and felt like 3 pops in my left shoulder. To this day, still don't know what they are. Never got it checked out. I was just like, nah, I'm gonna thug it out, you know. I don't know what it was. I'm guessing it was some sort of a sprained like rotator cuff or
you could have tore something too.
I forgetting what like the term is, but something in my shoulder. So I actually haven't done shoulders in like 6 months, and I'm gonna try and start putting it. I'm in way less pain now, but I'm gonna try and incorporate that back into my split. So right now I'm literally just it's basically just push pull leg.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's super simple, but I would love to incorporate shoulders so I can start mixing up my splits.
Yeah.
But at this point, I'm just staying super simple, but always trying to put in sneak a different workout into my routine.
Yeah.
Keep it interesting, but yeah, just simple
Yeah.
push pull legs.
You should start off like shoulders, doing like stuff like this, or like inner outer like that. Even going like this, stuff like that is really good for like.
I've been doing this thing where I like put my hand up against a wall, like on like a corner of a wall, and then I just kind of push myself against it.
Perfect.
See, even doing that, I kind of felt something there. So no, I'm fine. But
there's this other thing you could take like because I did PT for my shoulder because I tore my labrum.
That was what I was saying. I think it could have been a sprained or torn labrum.
Yeah. So there's this other thing we were doing.
Did you feel the pain like in the middle of your shoulder, almost like towards the front?
It was so weird. It was kind of like here.
Okay, yeah, it's
like
kind
right
of
there.
So it's kind of where I feel it like here and here. So it could be that. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I'm fucking it up.
We would hold like a weight or something on the wall, and we just kind of like make like the ABCs or something.
Mm-hmm.
But like with our arm like straight out.
Okay.
So you kind of like work the shoulder like that, and there's like a lot of things that I did. But honestly, like I had to do like the electroshock, and that was good. And then
I've always been scared of electroshock therapy. That seems so uncomfortable.
It's not that bad. Like it kind of feels numb almost. Plus like before that, they'll have like the therapist, like the physical therapist, they'll legit like just massage your arm, your or like for me they massage my shoulder, and like, oh my gosh, dude. That was the best, especially when it's in pain and like you can't move it, but they're like moving it around for you, and they're like rubbing like right where it's like sensitive almost, and it's like, yo,
maybe I should get into physical therapy.
Yeah.
But guess what? That costs money, and I don't have money. There we go. There's my answer.
Yeah, and plus you gotta figure out what exactly the injury is first. Like, yeah.
I don't know what it is. I haven't like made a doctor's appointment or anything.
Yeah.
I'm just in the mindset of
you don't have money.
You make food. You don't have money. Fuck it out.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
I get that, dude. Dude. Like I said, that train ticket. I mean, we'll see. Like, I spent a good amount. Yeah, but one of them already paid me back, and the other one said he couldn't go, so I got a refund for him.
Okay.
So I only paid $104, but
that's not that bad.
It's not too bad. And plus, like, shit with my hair is expensive, and then shit with like. If I want to train MMA, that's gonna be expensive. So like that's a lot of expenses. Like,
How long is that train ride from Chicago to Omaha? Is that like...
Dude, so a regular drive is 6.5, but the train is 9 hours.
Oh, because it's stop and go, and go.
I'm like, why, dude? Trains are supposed to be fast.
That
like,
has to
what's the
suck.
point?
Uber.
Yeah.
No,
Uber for 6.5.
That'd probably be way more expensive now that I think about that. I barely taken Ubers. Actually, the first time I took an Uber was the first time I went downtown with my friends. We didn't stay downtown, but this was, let's see, a Cubs game. We took he's like, my friend was like, we're just gonna take an Uber, and I'm like, I've never been in an Uber before, and it was there were, oh my god, how many of us were there? There were 6 of us, and it was a 7-seater car, so one of us had to sit in the front seat, and I just happened to be the tallest person in the group, so I sit in the front seat, and I get in the front seat, and I look over at the guy, and I just look at him, and I look back, and I'm like, okay, don't make any more eye contact for the rest of the drive. Don't make eye contact.
I just remember the first time I got an Uber. It was so funny, dude. So we were at Creighton, right? And they had like this, you know, like how, oh shoot. So we have like a welcome week to like welcome all the new students.
Oh, I know. I know exactly where this is going.
They had a glow party in like the courtyard, and it was just like, dude, it was so like, as a freshman, it was so lame. Like, we all wanted to leave, and so there's a lot of kids that were just like putting on jerseys and leaving, and we're like, what's that about? There was a frat that was throwing a party, and like the code was you had to wear a jersey. So I was like, yo, I got a jersey in my room. I could probably just throw that on. And so these kids I literally just made friends with, like this friend group, and I was like, they were all like, we gotta go, like this party's lame, like we gotta leave. We'll go to that frat, right? And so my friend orders an Uber, but he's like high, like he is like, dude, he is like a kite, bro.
He's like, let me get an Uber, and a number 6 extra fries.
He orders an Uber, and we've got like 4 or 5 people with us, so or maybe 10 total, but 4 or 5 people get in that car, right? And we're waiting for him to get in the car, but he just does not understand. Like, he gets in another car, and we're like, we had to call him because we're like, dude, you ordered this Uber, you gotta come over here, some shit. I'm not gonna name drop, but like, y'all, if you know who he is. So yeah, he eventually comes, and he gets in the car, and he so we start driving to that frat, and then literally we were like halfway there, and we get the message that it got busted. So my buddy, the one that was high, he was like, oh, yo, can we turn around? And the guy's like, I don't know if I could do that. And he's like, here's $20. And he turns around. I'm like, yo.
Bribed him with $20 to turn around.
That was like my first week of school. I'm like, bro, what am I getting into? This is insane.
That's crazy. I've never been intoxicated in an Uber, but I'm guessing that has to be an experience of sorts. Yeah.
Oh man. I don't do any drugs. I don't drink. I don't do weed. I don't do anything. But I've got a lot of friends that do, and I swear almost every time we've been in an Uber, at least one of us has been intoxicated. At least one of them has been intoxicated.
I don't really do it. I've never owned any of my. I mean, I've tried it before, but I've never owned any of my own stuff. I just, like I said, just trying to stay focused right now. But I mean, I've been there. It's just like, I'm not into that lifestyle.
Yeah, me neither.
If you are, like, that's fine. I don't really care, but not my thing for sure.
Yeah, and like I feel like I've made it this far without it, and I've been happy. So like, keep going.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
You know.
You don't need it. I mean, it's something to try, but it's nothing that it's something like you can't live without.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I have like that type of addictive personality, like when I literally, like I said, I'll get addicted to like scrolling on my phone. I'll get addicted to playing video games. I'll get addicted to like all type of stuff. But like, I'm afraid I'll get addicted to the wrong thing like that, and it could be like my downfall, you know?
Well, you see, the thing with that is like people that are addicted to nicotine and stuff. It's not the actual chemical that's bad for you, but addiction can be formed out of anything because of how it opens your dopamine.
Yeah.
Like your dopamine receptors. So like a thing with like checking your phone. Like right now, I'm just like, I wonder who's sending me notifications on my phone. I want to check that because that gets to my dopamine receptors, so I have an addiction to that in a sense. People that drink a ton of coffee, caffeine is a big thing to your dopamine receptors. So people are addicted to caffeine. People need the caffeine because if you don't have the caffeine, you're not releasing enough dopamine, and then your brain craves that and craves that and craves that, and then nicotine just does that to an extensive level. Yeah. So you can really make an addiction out of anything.
Honestly,
that's why people are alcoholics. and that's why people like they smoke a ton of weed. Like that's not a super addictive thing, but I mean, it still can become an addiction if you make it a habit.
Yeah.
People are addicted to working.
People are addicted to eating chalk.
That's weird. I've seen people drink paint too.
Yeah, and like
eat rocks.
Like what was it, like aerosol cans or like?
Oh, aerosol cans, because the thing that makes it like spray out and stuff like can get you high.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And Sharpies.
Ooh, huffing Sharpies.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, people are weird. There's people will do anything to catch a buzz, and it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, for real.
Like it's for like, real. All right.
Oh, I heard. It always, like, every sentence will always start with, oh, I heard.
Oh, I heard.
Oh, I heard this has this. Oh, I bet. Let's try it.
Let's try it. Let's do something daring that might kill me.
Next thing you know, they're like, I should have done that.
I guarantee you that's how the first person that tried heroin, that's how that was like for them. They're like,
my god.
Ooh, what is this?
I heard.
Let's try it. Just fucking
wild. I heard it's got these chemicals. I wonder what it'd be like if you inject it.
I wonder what happens if you put it straight into my bloodstream.
Oh my god.
And now you're just tweaking.
That's terrifying. Heroin's like, bro, don't try that shit. Like, that's the one thing that, like, I mean, weed isn't scary, like, even meth, like, but like heroin's like.
Tell me you've tried meth before?
No, I'm not saying anybody should try meth. I'm just saying that, like, the way you take heroin is just, that should be a red flag in itself.
Yeah, you have to use needles and, I mean, other shit. I don't really know how that works.
Plus, they don't like wash them. Like they'll pass them around and shit. Like that's like.
I mean, obviously, like I know drugs are a thing, but it's like once I start hearing about people that actually try these things.
Oh yeah.
I'm just like, this is like actually real. I was in the, like maybe I shouldn't go on that route. Like I was in the car like a while ago, and I was with someone, and then they were on the phone with someone else, and they were talking about, oh, I'm bringing a few bumps here, and I'm like, dude, there's no way you're like actually doing these things. And then I've talked to someone that's tried heroin before, and I'm like, and I look at them and I'm like, how, like, what possesses you to do that? Like, and it's like there I guess there's a creative to be adventurous and do those kinds of things, but like those things can be there's so many cases of people that try heroin for the first time and just like fall on the floor or die.
Yeah, like it's not like.
So you hear about these things.
There's no desire in me to like ever.
But people are like, you hear about these things and their first thing is, I want to do it.
Yeah.
I'm better. I'm stronger.
I mean,
and then you're having your funeral services next week.
I feel like maybe it's like a daring thing, like skydiving kind of.
I will never skydive. No way. My biggest fear is of falling, like at malls and on escalators or really anywhere else, like where there's like a balcony, like roller coasters too. I mean, the whole thing of roller coasters is falling. I just have that dreaded fear that I'm gonna like come loose and just fall to my death. So I can't. Yeah. I don't hate heights per se, but like if I'm next to a window, like if I'm on the sky deck at the Sears Tower, no, I would. I did it before when I was super young, but if I went back, I'd probably freak out. Standing on the glass and stuff, I'd probably freak out.
Like the giant drop at Six Flags.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that too. I've been to Six Flags and I've literally gone on one ride, and it's like the Batman Arkham ride that's indoors, so I can't see anything.
Yeah. That was not that bad.
It's not that bad, but I was like 12, so it was a little different. Another great example of that is when I was 8, went to Wisconsin Dells for the first and only time, and my dad wanted us to do zip lining, so we went zip lining, and on the first one, we climbed up all these stairs. It was super high up, like higher up than traditional zip lining. I'm talking like 800 feet in the air. And I get to the ledge, and I look down, and I see how far up we are, and I broke down, and I was sitting there for like a solid 10, 15 minutes, just like bawling. I was like 8 years old.
Yeah, so you got a true fear of heights.
So it's not heights; it's falling. Like what what if I start going and then my carabiner just breaks and then I just fall to my death,
dude? And that's like that trembling fear.
Oh, I was shaking.
Yeah.
So then the guy tells me, he's like, if you can go in the ready position and just show me you can go in the ready position, then I'll let you go down. Like you don't have to do it. And I'm like, okay. I get in the ready position. Then he just lets go of me, and I just fly to the other side. And then
was it fun though?
It was fun. I don't know if I'd ever do it again, but it was fun. But I don't know if I'd ever do it again. And then my years later, I found out that my dad had radioed the guy, and so he's like, just fucking push him. And I looked at him and I was like, you suck, man. That was traumatizing. The whole experience was traumatizing.
Yeah. Oh shit, I had like a small question I wanted to ask.
It'll come to you.
Yeah, it will. But I remember seeing like literally, I want to say earlier today or yesterday, you know how like Snapchat has those stories and it would be like, just like random stuff happening. So I saw one, it was, you know Steve-O?
Yeah.
From like Jackass. He was interviewing this guy, and this guy was like saying how he will never get on a plane. He never ever wants to get on a plane. And he said, I guess he made this like, not promise, but like he made this statement like when he was a kid, and he's just never gotten on a plane. And he said his only exception was if he got on a plane with a celebrity. And I guess like that happened because Steve-O was talking to him about it, and like they asked like why it was so why he would never get on a plane, right? Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, I saw Final Destination when I was a kid, and you know what Final Destination is, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I'll just never get on a plane because I guess something happened in Final Destination with the plane.
Yeah, I guess it's just like you have that one initial sight to something, and then you just kind of scarred from it forever.
Yeah. Was that ever like that with you with heights or falling?
No, I've just always had the progressive thought like I'm gonna fall and I'm just gonna die. But there's been instances like Tom Cruise, the Mission Impossible movies. I forgot which movie it is, but it's like the one where he's literally hanging off the side of a plane as it's flying.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Like I see that kind of stuff and I just get instant like anxiety or like videos of people falling and I have to turn it off because I can't do it.
Hell no.
I can't do it. No.
I saw this video like right before you came. It was a guy. Joe Rogan was talking about it on his podcast. Mm-hmm. About there's this construction worker in like the 1980s, I want to say, and there's like a video of him just like he's on a skyscraper basically, and he's climbing up like a monkey the like iron bars, and dude, it looked insane. Like how is this guy able to do all that? Like I have no idea. I want to see if I can find it on YouTube. Just real quick, just to show you, so you could get a good idea. Because it was just like a small like YouTube short. I don't even watch YouTube shorts like that.
Dude,
but
YouTube shorts is
like, yo, this is crazy.
The algorithm of YouTube shorts is so
terrible.
It's so bad. You get the same every time I go on YouTube shorts now. Like I watched one Marvel movie clip on YouTube that I looked up because I just wanted to see a part of a movie, and now every YouTube short I get is Bruno Mars died with a smile in the background of like a Spider-Man movie. And it's always just like Gwen Stacy falling to her death.
Bro.
Every time it's a clip of Gwen Stacy falling to her death, but it's just like, if the world was end.
I would always get like Minecraft brain rot. That used to be like the only thing I would get, and I'm like, I don't even watch Minecraft like that. I think, you know what I think it could be? Mm-hmm. I think it was because I would take a lot of my clips, like when I make clips for YouTube or like when I make clips for TikTok, Instagram, I'll take clips of Minecraft from YouTube and just like, shit, I don't know if I should say this, but I'll straight up screen record especially when it says it's for free, like that video is for free to copy it. I'll screen record from YouTube. So there's a lot of my history would be just Minecraft parkour. Even though I don't even watch it, it's just for a video that I'm making.
That's not even a bad thing to admit. I guarantee you have the shorts and reels that you see, or people that have screen recorded those things just to make profit. Yeah. You're not
exactly.
You're not even monetized. No, it's not a crazy thing. But
yeah. So this is the video I was talking about, like the construction worker.
Oh, is this Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
Look at him. This is in the 1980s. What? Look at this motherfucker. Wow. Look at this. Look at him climb, dude. Are you shitting me?
No.
Are you
absolutely not?
Dude,
Jesus
he's like
Christ, this guy's a construction worker and he's like an athlete. Watch when he calms down.
Dude, that's insane.
Animal, look at him. This is in the 1980s. What?
Yeah.
This motherfucker.
So like the audience that can't see that, he's literally walking across like iron bars, like it's a balance beam. He's just like this. He's just like teeter-tottering. And he walks up to like this vertical metal bar, and he just grabs it like a monkey, just like climbs up.
No, like that stuff is crazy. Like I always see that picture in Portillo's of them like making, I think it's the Sears Tower or something, the Empire State Building, and they're sitting on the studs eating lunch like 800 feet in the air. No. And it's like, dude, I'd die. I would just fall. At that point, I would just fall off.
People were just built different back then, dude. Like, I don't know how the hell they were able to do half the shit. Like, what was it? Was it the Hoover Dam that took like forever to build, or was it like the Panama Canal? It was the Panama Canal, right? Because it took them forever to build that, and then like the U.S. came, but it took like hundreds of years, I want to say, and
I think
like
it's
people just died. People were dying like all the time from like that, and so they like put it off, and then like it was just a lot of work, and then finally got it done. But like just the fact that people were actually real life dying from that. Trying to build it.
I could never just my thought process is like I can't do that hands-on kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like I don't do a ton with cars. I mean, I know not a lot about them, but I'm starting to learn more about them because I had a car that had a ton of problems. But like just the hands-on work and stuff. My goal is just to make enough money so I can pay someone to do that. Like
that's always the goal.
Like I have bigger problems with running restaurants and having to deal with that mental stress. It's like I could never do like I mean, that's not saying like I'm lazy. It's just like that's just not my thing. I don't do like handsy stuff. That's just not me. Unless you consider handsy like moving hundreds of pounds of Brussels sprouts and just like and prepping those hundreds of pounds of Brussels sprouts for like 4 hours.
Not gonna die from that.
Oh no, but I did do that like a few weeks ago. There was a tub of I think 200 pounds, and I literally had to clean and jerk them onto a table so I could stick my hands in them and just toss them with seasoning.
If you didn't go to the gym.
No, I'd be screwed. I'd be like, chef, can you help me? I can't do this. And then I was over there, and I was just like,
He'd come over with like a cart or something.
Yeah, my back hurt.
Or like a forklift.
My back hurt the next day. It sucked, but that's part of the job. So
yeah, it's part of what you got to do.
Yeah.
I was working over winter break with my dad, and he sells fitness equipment like online to like Amazon and like other places, and literally my job, I had to copy like information data from spreadsheets and paste it into their new website, and literally that was it. Because they didn't have anybody to do that. It was just like a remedial task.
That's all you did?
Yeah.
And you get paid to do that?
For like almost 2 weeks. I worked for like 8-9 days total. And literally just Control-C, Control-V. I was copying and pasting from the old site to the new site. And that's all I was doing.
Can I have an application, dude? Like, that's my second job now.
I mean, it was almost in the city, and it was full time. Like I was doing a lot of work, and I was like dozing off. But like I put my headphones on, and I was just listening to music, and I just zone out, and I'll get like, dude, by the end, like I would get like over like 1,000 products done, I'll copy and paste the descriptions for them. I'll copy and paste like their dimensions. I'll copy and paste like their like all type of stuff, honestly. And I started doing like related products.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you go on Amazon and you see and you're looking at a product and it has like those related products at the bottom.
Yeah.
Like also buy these, customers that bought this also got this. So I was kind of doing that, but I was doing it like manually. So if it was like a bench, I'll put like a bench attachment, a barbell. I'll put like all type of stuff that is related to a bench.
Okay.
Or other benches,
So you're the one that's trying to make me spend more money on stuff I don't need at the bottom of my purchasing.
I'm the one that's getting paid for it.
Oh, you're getting paid for it because you're getting paid trying to make me spend more money, go more broke. That's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I'm trying to let you see all your options,
No, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, it's like I finished that job, or like 2 days ago was my last day, and they're like, "Thank you so much. Like we did not want to do that. Like we just wanted to get like a young high school kid or college kid that's just here for break, and is willing to do like just tedious work,
Yeah, you fit.
I'm like,
you fit their description.
I'll
perfectly.
do it. I'll do it. And like every time they're like, oh, they're trying to like mix it up, trying to give me like new things to do. I'm like, I'll do it, but like I don't care, as long as I'm getting money. Like,
yeah, I mean money makes the world go around. But,
exactly.
I mean, as long as you didn't hate it. I mean, if you hated it, it's a different story. But
I've hated jobs in the past. That was not one of them.
No. All right. I mean, that works.
Yeah.
And you got anything else? Any other topics? I can answer.
We kind of talked about the gym a little bit.
Yeah.
Did we talk about golf?
No.
Okay. So, you were talking about you play golf.
Yeah.
Somewhat often. How often would you say you play golf?
In the summer, it's like practice once a week, play once a week. So
damn.
It's a little pricey.
How do you practice?
Like driving ranges, like like a Top Golf kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
But golf courses just kind of have a space where you can just rent golf balls and just kind of hit them. So I'll just kind of go through all my clubs and stuff. Like I got clubs for short game, clubs for like middle, and then I got like driver stuff like that. Go long distances. Everything swings differently. So I just kind of have the thrill of always tweaking it. Make the shot go a different kind of like go this way and then go this way. Like I can shot shaping, it's called. Yeah. So there's always a thrill kind of to practice that. And then actually playing is just kind of the time where I get to relax, apply it and then relax and hang out with my friends, whoever, just drive around a golf cart, taunt people who are on the other hole, tell them they suck. I like doing that. I'm not good either, but like I like telling people that they suck. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
And so last year I made it my goal to play at as many new golf courses in the area as I could, and I have a list. I believe it's 27.
27?
Played at 20, and I played at a few of them multiple times. So I played about 27 different golf courses, and I ranked them worst to best. There was a few that blew my mind. There was a few that I really hated. There's this one in Geneva where it is literally built into a neighborhood.
Yeah.
So there's a hole. This is like 18 holes, regular golf course. It's the 13th hole. It's a par 3, so it's short. It is literally like the hole is this way, like it's going this way, and the houses are all around it. So it's literally like you're It's literally like you're hitting in their backyard.
Yeah.
So I hated it because it's like you have the constant thought in the back of your head of, am I gonna hit this guy's house if I miss?
Yeah.
And so that whole, I shot bad that day because I had a whole mind block that I was just gonna miss everything, which made me mess everything up in the process. So I hated that one.
I bet the people that live there must like either love it because they can just go outside and they're basically at a course. Or they hate it because they keep getting windows broken.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the other thing I started, as the year started going on, I started realizing was like, if you live on a golf course, there has to be some sort of insurance to cover it. Yeah. So just kind of swing away. I remember the first time I played a course not too far from here. It's like a small 9-hole course, and the left side past the rough was just houses. I hit a shot like perfectly in the center of the face, so it was really good. But I hit it directly to the left side, and I thought I was gonna hear a crash, and I never heard a crash, so I hit another one, and then I started going down the hole. I looked to the left, and I see my ball rolling in the middle of the street, and I was like, I'm literally in someone's neighborhood right now. Like I could never live living on a golf course. I guess would be kind of cool for the views. But
yeah, it's gotta look cool. Yeah, it's gotta look dope.
It looks dope, but I mean I don't want to get my house like broken and stuff like that.
Yeah,
no way.
There's like spots in Chicago that like cars will hit like once a week or like stuff like that.
I did. Actually, there was a golf course I played, and I smoked a ball into the middle of the I-90. I hit it. Actually, I hit it over the I-90. I have a clip of that. I just I was aiming it away, and my swing normally just comes like straight down.
Yeah.
This time, I kind of came around and hit it left, and I saw that ball literally sail over the I-90.
Bro.
And I'm like, shit, how did I do that? So I tee up another one.
So
wait, it's really quick. So I teed up another one, right? And I hit it back into the I-90. Except this time, I hit it shorter, and it literally, I'm not even kidding, the ball went into a guy's pickup truck bed.
No
and
way.
And then bounced out. And I luckily didn't hit anyone else's car, but
100 points.
Yeah, I don't do that a lot, but it was definitely funny when I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay. Like I'm not terrible. My best score is like in 88 and like par in most courses like 72, 71. So I'm not terrible, but the more important thing is I have fun with it, and it's kind of my escape from reality. And I think it's important that everyone has like their own kind of
at least
takes their mind off of everything. And unfortunately, mine's very expensive, but it seems to be the only thing that really takes my mind off everything. Like I don't go on my phone, I don't text people, I don't like scroll Instagram. The most I'll do is I'll put on music, or like I'll turn on like a YouTube video or something like that when I play. But I'm not on my phone most of the time. I put my phone in like the pocket of the golf cart, and I just leave it there.
That's good.
And I just kind of focus on my next shot.
And golf is like peaceful and like calming, right?
Oh,
it seems like it.
Totally.
I've never played golf.
For sure, yeah. Except when I, completely miss my shot, and then
days ruined,
and I just snap the golf club over. Like, no, it's not that stressful. But when I get in a rut, like when I start doing bad, I start getting pissed off. But other than that, it's peaceful, like calming when I'm playing with my friends too. Make it a little competitive. Yeah. It's again escape from reality. Like waking up at 5 a.m. to get there at like 6:30, and then you play for 4 hours, and then you get home and you still have the whole day ahead of you. It's a good feeling.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask, so you like golf and baseball, right?
Oh yeah, I don't play baseball anymore, but I still follow baseball a ton. It's probably my favorite sport to watch and follow. So I know a lot about it, but I'm still into that.
So sports with balls and sticks. So
yeah,
isn't it interesting that like a lot of people have like it's like a wide variety of sports that they like? Like, why do you think that is?
Different. I mean, just kind of different ways to play the game, but they have different points of action. Like I like baseball and golf, where it's kind of the main action comes when the ball's struck.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I watch a lot of football. I'm into a lot of football. I was in this past year I was in 4 fantasy football leagues.
Damn.
I managed 4 teams.
Yeah.
I missed the playoffs in 2. I made the playoffs in another 2, and then I won a championship, and then I got second place. The one I got second place in was worth money, so I should be getting that payout today. Extra money in my pocket because for like the 4th time, I'm broke, and I need money.
I definitely get that, bro. I definitely get that.
But I mean, like a different widespread of sports. I mean, they all. A lot of things is just like kind of every sport has a different entertainment factor, but it all like revolves around scoring. Like with baseball, it's like when the guy hits a giant home run, and that sends the crowd crazy. When there's in football, there's touchdown. Like that's kind of the whole thing. Is like the main excitement from it all comes when there's a score.
Yeah, like boxing when there's a knockout.
Yeah,
or like basketball when someone like slam dunks or buzzer beater.
They're all kind of related, but they're different sports, which is why everyone follows like different sports, because There's always a critical moment that's super exciting. But just in kind of different sports, and you kind of trick yourself into
like
thinking
when everybody goes, oh,
yeah, and you kind of trick yourself in the process of thinking that you're watching something different.
That's that dopamine.
Yeah, that's the dopamine receptors kind of going off when you see that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I love that, dude. I love that. I don't like people that do like hobby horses. You know what I mean?
Hobby horses?
Yeah, those people that ride like those fake horses. I don't know where that comes from. I
think like the ones that like the horses on sticks.
Yeah,
I've seen those. Yeah, that
I was just thinking about that. We were talking about sports. I'm like, yo, that's an extreme.
That's for sure an extreme. I don't know why you would kind of consider that a sport, but I mean, whatever you like, I guess. I mean, yeah, if you want to just sit there and act like you're riding a horse, but you're on a stick.
Yeah.
What's the point of that? I don't know. That's a little weird.
That's like the only one I can think of that'd be like, bro, why do you want to do that? Like,
there's no point.
Like, you could legit choose any other sport.
You could choose a real horse.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a thought. You could choose a real horse.
And I see videos of people like getting hurt doing hobby horses. I'm like, you're legit real life prancing around in your backyard, jumping over hurdles, like. You got hurt, like, womp womp, like, sucks.
It's like soccer injuries. Yeah. Guys are on the field, like, lying on the floor crying because they got tripped over and they got a little boo-boo on their elbow. Did you play soccer?
Nah, I never did.
Oh, I don't know why I pegged you.
I did cross country.
Soccer. I know you did cross country and track. I hate soccer. That's a sport I hate.
Dude, I like the soccer community on, like, Instagram. Like,
why is that?
Dude, those unexpected edits?
Yeah.
Dude, and they're always soccer. Like, you'll see a basketball one every once in a while, maybe a UFC one, but like the soccer ones are always so funny. You'll see like a video of like a girl talking to a guy and just being like this. And then it'll cut to like some soccer player going like this, and then it'll just like show him scoring a goal or like tackling a guy. It's like, yo, what? Dude, these soccer people are funny, bro.
They're funny, but the sport itself to me is so boring. Like, I don't want to watch people run back and forth to barely miss a goal. Soccer is hard,
and then end in a tie.
Like, why are you ending in a tie? Score more points. It's not that hard. It's so boring. Like, at least I think they should make the field smaller. I think if they cut the length of a soccer field in half, it would be way more cool. There'd be way more points scored.
I agree, dude. I never even thought about that.
I think I can just take a few.
It's like they're running a marathon every game. It's like for why? Like,
it takes you so long to get on the other side. I don't know.
It also makes sense because like once you get to that level, people just kick super hard. They kick the ball super hard, and it's like you can't really have a small field because like every time somebody kicks, it'll end up like almost at the goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Okay, maybe you
know what I mean? Because like you also want to have a big goal, you know. So
the goal is huge.
Yeah. So like the goalie can like dive if they need to, you know.
I never really realized
it's too small. Like the goalie would be too good, you know.
I never really realized it, but the goals are huge,
massive.
You know what else is massive? So I'm sorry I said that.
Low
taper fade. I introduced my brother to that meme. He didn't know what it was, and I showed him. I'm not even kidding. I called him the other day, and I'm like, "Hey, what are you doing later?" He goes, "Hey, can you FaceTime me real quick?" I'm like, "Okay." FaceTime. This guy actually got a low taper fade, and he looks so. I hope he's watching this because he looks so stupid. He looks so stupid, and I'm looking, and I'm like, "Dude, because he's white, blonde, like." It looks Polish, but he's Italian. Yeah. But like the furthest thing from a low taper fade kind of haircut, and I'm like, dude, you look. I hope your girlfriend ridicules you for that because you look so stupid. I hope you're watching this, by the way. That'd be really funny.
I gotta get a fade soon, bro. But like those videos that are like, what if the Grinch got a low taper fade?
Me when knee surgery is tomorrow.
Yeah, like,
I am the lord of just not
me too
of brain rot. Instagram reels are so funny, but
Yeah.
they've ruined my sense of humor. Like, why do I think a blue Grinch that's asking me when knee surgery is funny?
I don't know, dude. It's the fact, like, it's the music in the background,
Yeah.
and it's the comments, and then like, it's all the different variations they make of it. It's just like, it's so engaging. I don't know why.
I just love the Family Guy clips on Instagram.
Yeah.
Those always are funny. Except now more than ever, it's mainly just Peter talking about. I can't say that word. But
Yeah,
that's
just scream
that,
it. Like,
yeah, one time I was in a locker room or I was in the cafeteria at work and I forgot to put my AirPod in and I open up Reels and that's just the first thing is Peter goes, "Hey Lois, what?" And then he says it and I just like, I hate Instagram Reels, and that actually happened. Yeah, Reels like ruined my sense of humor, but I can't stop watching. It's those dopamine receptors going off.
It definitely, same here. My problem is like, I'll find an account that I find hilarious or interesting, and I'll just scroll through their entire, like, I'll watch all of their videos.
Yeah, I'll get trapped in that for sure.
Yeah, like, it happened yesterday and it happened today. Like,
I do it all the time.
There's this channel on like Instagram, and I think it's called like Moon Tell That or something, and it's like this, I don't know if she's like Vietnamese or Chinese or something, but like it's her account, and like it just follows like her mom, her dad, and like her boyfriend, and they just play pranks on each other like all the time, and they're so funny. Like, it's actually, and I don't know if it's because they have like a thick accent that makes it so funny.
Oh, the foreign people on Reels are so funny.
Oh yeah, 100%, dude. And like Indian, like the Indian ones are so funny. Like, you'll see the guy.
I will be pilot. I will be pilot. Oh, he's a pilot, Greg.
I like that kid that like he'll watch like Mike Tyson fighting, and then it'll cut to this like skinny Indian kid, and he's just like, he'll be like doing the same exact moves, but he does it like real stiff, and like you'll see the comments and people are like, "I've seen enough. Give him Jake Paul," or something.
I love Instagram comment. I think comments make the world go round. And now there's the announcement of Mark Zuckerberg where he's like allowing more free speech.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be nuts.
It's gonna be
honestly
so
like it's just gonna be I can't wait for it because it's just gonna be carnage, and I'm just gonna sit there and enjoy it.
Yeah, because I mean X is like that. I'm not on X very often, but like
I live on Twitter. It's great. I love Twitter. Twitter's funny. Elon, I don't like that he named it X, but he's done some good things with that app, and it's just that's where I find all the gory stuff.
Oh yeah, they have no filter on there.
No,
crazy.
Absolutely not. There's a lot of X-rated things.
It just doesn't
on X.
It just doesn't matter. Like, you can open it up and like, okay, somebody just got trampled. Like,
yeah.
Okay, somebody just got ran over. Like, it's only a Friday. Like,
I can probably open Twitter right now, and there's just probably something crazy on there.
Yeah.
Right now, but I'm not. I really just depends on the day. I'll go on there. I follow them a lot to watch like football and baseball reporters. To keep up on what's going on. That's really the only reason I'm on there.
I gotta start taking it seriously and just like use X. Like,
it's not worth it.
No, but like for my podcast, I gotta make a profile, stuff like that. Like, I should. I feel like I should. It's good exposure, I think, but I stick to Instagram.
I would stick to Instagram and TikTok. That's kind of like the biggest thing that's the biggest engagement for what you post.
Yeah. TikTok's like, I don't know. TikTok's not the same as Instagram. Like, TikTok, the comments are just not the same. I don't get the same views. But, like, I know if I make it big on TikTok, that's where it's going to be, you know? Like...
Yeah, I feel like TikTok's slowly dying, though.
It is.
They're going to ban it.
Yeah. What's funny is, like, I got 2 completely different algorithms. One for, like, Instagram and one for TikTok. It's so weird.
That is kind of weird. Like, you post different things.
No, like, my algorithm. Like, like, I get different videos. Like, on TikTok right now, it's all Squid Game. Every single video is Squid Game.
I never watched it.
And like maybe I'll get like 1 or 2 MMA things, UFC, and then on Instagram it's literally just like all brain rot. It's like all just brain rot and just like funny videos, I guess.
Yeah, I pretty much have the same thing on both.
Really?
You got you got anything else for me though?
No, we're at like an hour 40. Holy cow!
Oh,
damn. So I mean, okay. So we talked about the gym. Do you have any like gym advice? And then after that, do you have any like life advice? Because that's how I normally end these episodes.
Okay. For gym advice, I do what you like. Like don't force yourself to do a different workout. I mean, always try to branch out and find something new. I mean, if you don't like it, stay off of it. But if you find more workouts that you like, you'll be more inclined to keep going and be consistent. Don't ego lift. We've talked about this before. Don't ego lift. I think we did, yeah. Don't ego lift. Like just pick a weight that you can do for like 10 to 15 reps. Yeah. And just stick with that. Really, don't worry about how much weight you can lift, and worry more about like how your muscles feel after, what the contraction feels like. That's something I would more stick with. If you need to, find a lifting partner. I mean, or like gym bro, you know. Yeah. Whoever else if that keeps you motivated. I normally go by myself, but every now and again I'll go with a couple friends of mine. And then in terms of life advice, I think I said it earlier, but can't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. Once you step out of your comfort zone, you're gonna find better opportunity, and you're gonna find better learning, and when you get to the end of your life, you're gonna be like, oh, I really appreciate that I stepped out of my comfort zone, that I tried something new. But don't go overboard and just take like a huge risk that has a more bust than boom aspect to it. Always try to play it smart, but also do take those risks. Yeah. Because you'll be like me and you'll screw yourself. Because I originally tried to take a job where I would have the opportunity to become the sous chef, and I never really realized that it was a brand new restaurant opening up around the holidays. And then after I put in my 2 weeks at the steakhouse, then the guy told me that he didn't have work for me because it was slow, and he didn't have the patience to wait for it to plan out. And then I was out of a job for like 3 weeks. I had to find a new job. Yeah. So maybe I should have taken a step back and been like, hey, this is a brand new restaurant. Maybe I should wait a little bit and see how their business goes before I leave my consistent, well-paying job. So I think take a step back and make sure it's the right move before you take it, but never be afraid to take a risk. And that was the thing, as I was just seeking opportunity, and and at that point I was like, I need to do this. Like if I'm going to make it big, I need to do this. So I don't fully regret doing that, but at the same time, it's like I could have used that extra week and a half, 3.5 weeks of pay.
Yeah, but like looking back, like that's definitely something. If you try to get a job at a new place, you're definitely gonna think about it twice. Oh, like, it's something you learn from.
Yeah, everything you do, you'll learn from at some point. So yeah, I mean that's the best piece of advice that I can give, and just enjoy life, man. Yeah. Don't force yourself to constantly I want to stay on my grind. Yeah, I want to learn, I want to grow, and I want to keep a focused head. But take a second, do something you enjoy, whether it's going to the gym, play a video game, watch a show, hang out with your friends, just kind of have a social drink. That's all right. But like if you're just doing that excessively, then you have a problem. But just remember to take a step back and enjoy life. Yeah. This is the best advice I can give.
Just don't be so serious. Why so serious?
Intuition.
Why so serious?
Intuition.
So I'll just do a quick summary of what we went over. So I mean, we talked a little bit about like winter break and your jobs and all that. So we did not talk about any of these questions. I think we went straight in from there to talking about food, right? Yeah. And what it's like with your classes at ECC and all of that, and then I think eventually we talked about like cooking shows,
just
and
random
like different recipes,
food industry, just kind of like behind the scenes kind of things.
Yeah. And I found that really
like how it's abusive and harassive. It has a lot of harassing, and I'm just openly setting my foot in there. Yeah. That's something. Yeah, I'm just doing that, I guess.
Yeah. Hero. And we were talking about like recipes that you thought were like you wanted to try out, and ones that you thought were like horrendous. And then eventually we talked about eventually we talked about the gym, and then like your split and all of that. We talked about like how often you go to the gym, and we talked about golf a bit, and then just like about sports in general. Yeah. And then, like why people like sports and all that.
Brain rot.
And then we ended with like brain rot and all type of stuff, and we were talking about like TikTok, Instagram, and then we finished up with gym advice and life advice. So I just want to say, like, first episode, amazing. Definitely wanted to get you back on. And now that you're here, like, bro, like, I could not have asked for anything, like, better. Like, dude, that was sick. Like, I think this episode was amazing. I maybe looked at this and asked you, like, 5 questions.
Maybe not even, like, 4.
And, like, look, like, I've got a lot of questions written down, and I only asked, like, 5. So,
well, I mean, it's good that you're prepared, but you also needed it. I guess you forgot that I just talk.
Yeah.
So.
No, like, I mean, this is usually just something to fall back on. Just, like, last case scenario. Like, but it's always a good sign when I don't use it.
When you don't use it, that's how you know you're making progress. One day you're not going to need a script.
Exactly, yeah. It's just, like, reassuring to have it, you know? Because, like, if I don't have it, I'll feel, like, unprepared.
And if you get stumped, then you're just kind of, then you
like,
got to edit
that
out.
Oh, shoot, like, what am I going to talk about?
And then you got to edit it out.
Yeah, and it's kind of embarrassing. Like, yo, like, what did we talk about? So, with that, dude, like, thank you for getting on. Like, I think this is great, bro.
Thanks for inviting me back. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. I appreciate you having me back, and I want to let the people know what's not literally what's going on in my life, but like the experiences that I've had and what people deserve to know more about.
This is a good update,
especially with food. Not a lot of people know what happens behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think this was like a good chance for people to see all of that.
I feel like it's something that you don't really talk about on the show, so
yeah.
I'm glad I got to share that insight.
Yeah, 100%. Thanks for getting on, bro.
No problem.
Thank you guys for listening to this episode of the Goal Swole Podcast. If you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to drop a like. And if you plan on listening to any future episodes, make sure to subscribe and click that notification button.